Around the Department of Defense this week. This is your DoD Weekly News Recap.
With your weekly recap, I'm Mark Weeks. Defense Secretary James Mattis spoke by phone to the South Korean and Japanese defense ministers in two separate calls to discuss the results of the recent summit between the U.S. and North Korea. In the Secretary's call to the Korean defense minister, both men discussed their mutual support for ongoing diplomatic efforts, to include how their two nations are working together to fulfill the President's guidance on U.S.-South Korean combined military exercises. The Secretary reaffirmed the United States ironclad defense commitments to Japan during his call to the Japanese defense minister, and said the U.S. is determined to maintain the readiness of its forces in the region and to continue working closely together toward regional peace and stability. The U.S. Navy, Marine Corps, and Royal Thai Navy began the 21st iteration of Cooperation Afloat Readiness and Training Exercise in Pattaya, Thailand. The exercise series, known as CARROT, is organized in bilateral phases with regional nations. The exercise highlights the ability of partner nations to work together toward the common goal of ensuring a free, open, and stable Indo-Pacific maritime security environment, and is designed to enhance capabilities of naval operations. Continuing with partnerships in NATO missions, Army paratroopers with the 82nd Airborne Division traveled to Lithuania to participate in the interoperability readiness exercise with NATO allies and other U.S. partners. The paratroopers traveled nonstop over 4,000 miles from Fort Bragg to demonstrate the division's ability to respond rapidly anywhere in the world to assist its NATO allies and partners if needed. Celebrating the 243rd birthday of the U.S. Army, Secretary of the Army Mark Esper reflected on the Army's nearly 2.5 centuries of defending the nation and said he remains optimistic about the future of the service he leads. Secretary Esper says the Army has a new vision that ensures it'll remain in its place as the most dominant and most lethal fighting force in history. The Secretary was joined in the courtyard of the Pentagon by Deputy Secretary of Defense Patrick Shanahan, Chief of Staff of the Army General Mark Miley, and Sergeant Major of the Army Daniel Daly. General Miley had the opportunity to administer the oath of enlistment to 27 soldiers to recommit to a life in uniform. For more information about your military, go to defense.gov.